Plants with desirable characteristics have been produced since several years by conventional breeding methods where the aspired traits are first selected, then combined and propagated by repeated sexual crossings over numerous generations. This is a long process which takes up to even 15 years to produce new varieties. On the other hand, genetic engineering not only allows transformation of plants to be dramatically quicker in a highly targeted manner, but it also bears potential to overcome the barrier of sexual incompatibility between plant species. Plant transformation is brought about by the introduction of foreign DNA segment having a cloned gene of interest. The gene of interest expresses itself in the form of protein, and the protein confers a particular trait or novel characteristic to the plant. The transformed cell then divides mitotically, and in this way the DNA is passed to all subsequent daughter cells. It is this stable transformation that allows the single transformed cell to regenerate a complete plant where each cell contains a copy of the gene of interest. Such plants are called transgenic plants or genetically modified plants. Plant transformation, as we think of it today, started in the early 1980s with the first conclusive demonstration that Agrobacterium tumefaciens, which is the causative agent of crown gall disease, could be utilized as a vector to introduce specific pieces of DNA into plant cells. This became the basis of genetic modification process. In 1983, the first transgenic tobacco plant resistant to antibiotics was created, followed by which in 1990, genetically engineered cotton was successfully tested in the field. China was the first country to allow commercialized transgenic plants, introducing a virus-resistant tobacco in 1992, which was withdrawn in 1997. In the United States, the first genetically modified crop approved for sale in 1994 was the Flavor Saver tomato. It had a longer shelf life because it took longer to soften after ripening. Whereas in Europe, the first commercially genetically engineered crop marketed in 1994 was tobacco, which was resistant to the herbicide bromoxynil. In 1995, BT potato, the first pesticide producing crop, and various other crops like canola with modified oil composition, BT maize, bromoxynil resistant cotton, BT cotton, glyphosate resistant soybean, also known as Roundup Ready soybean, virus resistant squash, etc. were developed. In 2000, vitamin A enriched golden rice was developed. In 2002, India released the first GM crop, that is BT cotton, commercially in the market. In 2013, the leaders of the three research teams that first applied genetic engineering to the crops, Robert Fraley, Mark Van Montagu, and Mary Del Chilton, were awarded with the prestigious World Food Prize for opening the doors to improved agricultural crops that can feed the world more effectively and sustainably. The last 2 decades have various success stories of plant transformation in store, and novel quality traits have been established in agricultural, horticultural and forestry yields. Requirements for plant transformation. The essential requirements in a gene transfer system for production of transgenic plants are availability of a target tissue, which includes competent cells for plant regeneration, a method to introduce DNA into those competent cells, and a procedure to select and regenerate transformed plants at a satisfactory frequency. Availability of a target tissue. For plant transformation, what is most important is a large number of cells from the target plant system which have regenerative capabilities. It is not necessary that these cells should have an embryogenic or organogenic plant regeneration protocol. The only primary requirement is the efficiency of the protocol, including ready availability of explants and minimal time in tissue culture. The intention behind minimizing the tissue culture phase is to avoid soma-clonal variation, because soma-clonal variations lead to the random genetic changes which will supersede the choice of tissue culture and gene transfer systems. The cells which exhibit such required regenerable capabilities are called as competent cells and are most essential for gene transfer treatment. A method to introduce DNA into competent cells. In this step, the gene of interest is inserted into the competent cells. It can be done in two ways: indirectly through a natural vector like agrobacterium, or directly by physical methods like particle bombardment, etc. Agrobacterium mediated transformation. Let us first study about the infection, transfer and integration of agrobacterium and how it happens in nature. This will provide a basis to manipulate such a strategy in tissue culture. Biology of the agrobacterium and infection in nature. Agrobacterium is a soil-living gram-negative bacteria and is capable of infecting a wide range of dicot plant species. The infection from the Agrobacterium tumefaciens and Agrobacterium rhizogenes bring about crown gall and hairy root disease respectively in the infected plants. The disease occurs due to the transfer of oncogenes which contain cytokinin and auxin synthesizing genes. During infection, a copy of oncogenes contained in a small section of DNA called as tDNA is transferred into the plant cells. The plant cells then, under the influence of these hormone synthesizing genes, show unregulated growth leading to tumor formation or hairy root formation. TI plasmid in bacteria. The plasmid which carries tDNA containing oncogenes is known as TI plasmid or tumor-inducing plasmid, and in Agrobacterium rhizogenes it is called as RI plasmid or hairy root-inducing plasmid. The uniqueness of this tDNA is that it is flanked on both the sides by 25 base pair repeats known as left border and right border repeats. The TI plasmid also contains the genes for opine catabolism produced by the crown gall cells and regions for conjugative transfer. The transfer is carried out by a 40 kb region of the plasmid which is present outside the tDNA region, termed as virulence region or Vir region. The process of tDNA transfer and integration. The process of tDNA transfer and integration into the plant genome involves various steps. Signal recognition by Agrobacterium. Agrobacterium, with the help of its Vir-A regulon, senses the phenolic compounds such as acetosyringon, which are secreted from wounded plant cells and show chemotaxis movement towards the wounded site. Attachment to plant cells. The attachment of Agrobacterium to the plant cells is a two-step process. It involves an initial attachment via a polysaccharide followed by production of mesh of cellulose fibers produced by the Agrobacterium, which attaches it to the plant cells. Induction of Vir gene. The Vir-A gene, which was induced by the phenolics secreted from the wounded plant cells, in turn activates the next Vir regulon, that is Vir-G, by phosphorylation. The Vir-G induces the expression of all other genes present in the Vir region. T-strand production. The Vir D1-D2 complex protects and brings about the export of the tDNA from the Agrobacterium into the plant cell. They determine the left and right borders of the tDNA, and Vir D2 then produces single-stranded nicks in the DNA. After nicking, the Vir D2 becomes covalently attached to its 5' end in order to facilitate its transport. Vir C assists the complex in its action. Transfer of tDNA out of the bacterial cell. The tDNA Vir D2 complex is exported from the bacterial cell by a T pilus. This T pilus is a membrane channel which works as a transfer apparatus and is made of proteins encoded by Vir B operon. The single-stranded tDNA associated with the Vir D2 along with Vir E2 is exported through the transfer apparatus. Vir F may also be exported along with the complex. Transfer of the tDNA and Vir proteins into the plant cell and nuclear localization. The whole tDNA and the Vir protein complex cross the plant cell plasma membrane through transfer channel. Once inside the plant cell, the tDNA becomes coated with Vir E2 to protect the DNA from nucleases and facilitate in nuclear localization and provide correct conformation to the complex so that it can pass through the nuclear pore complex of the plant cells. The tDNA Vir D2 Vir E2 plant protein complex now enters the nucleus through the nuclear pore complex. Here, integration of tDNA into the plant genome occurs by illegitimate recombination in which two DNA molecules not sharing homology to each other are joined. Agrobacterium mediated transformation procedure in tissue culture. In tissue culture, the transformation procedure is achieved in 3 steps. Strategic engineering of Agrobacterium tumefaciens with modified tDNA, co-cultivation of Agrobacterium with the plant cells, selection of the transformed plant cells under appropriate conditions. Strategic engineering of Agrobacterium tumefaciens with modified tDNA. The engineering of agrobacterium is required to remove the oncogenes or disease-causing genes from the tDNA, which is known as disarming the Ti plasmid, followed by introducing the gene of interest and other important genes to utilize it as a vector for plant transformation. The process is not so easy and requires various elements to be rightly introduced at specific loci in the plasmid. The plasmid is engineered with, most importantly, a gene of interest, a promoter gene sequence upstream to initiate transcription, a polyadenylation sequence downstream to release mRNA for translation, a replication site to initiate replication, and marker sequences for selection of transformed cells. These regulatory sequences are necessary to bring about successful incorporation, establishment, and expression of transgene in the competent cells. The whole DNA segment containing these regulatory sequences is known as DNA construct. Once the construct is ready, its multiple copies are prepared by cloning it in bacteria. These multiple cloned DNA copies are then utilized for transfecting huge number of competent cells. During the experimental phase, an important breakthrough came out when it was found that the Vir genes, which are responsible for tDNA transfer, can also work effectively in trans. That means, even if the tDNA is not physically linked with the Vir genes still get activated and perform their function. This provided liberty to the scientists to introduce larger DNA segment with unique restriction endonuclease sites, keeping Vir region in a separate plasmid. Henceforth, Ti plasmid built transformation vectors were designed where the tDNA to be introduced is physically linked, that is in cis with the Vir region. Such type of vectors were known as co-integrating vectors, and where the tDNA is not physically linked, that means it is in trans with the Vir region. Such vectors were known as binary vectors. Co-cultivation of agrobacterium with the plant cells. Once the agrobacterium is engineered with gene of interest, it has to be introduced into competent cells for infection. A major technical advancement was made by Horsch et al. In 1985. They demonstrated that transgenic plants could be obtained from leaf discs following their co-cultivation with agrobacterium. Since then, most transgenic plants produced so far are created through the co-cultivation method, and the transgenic plants have shown stable integration and expression of foreign genes. Also, the progeny from most of these transformed plants showed Mendelian segregation of the transgene. Steps involved in co-cultivation. Pre-culture of the explants. Firstly, the explants are removed from the donor plants and surface sterilized and cut disc shapes under aseptic conditions. They are then transferred to standardized nutrient medium for 2 to 3 days for establishment. This period is known as pre-culture period. Co-cultivation. The explants are then placed into culture of agrobacterium containing gene of interest for 30 minutes in suspension. This process where plant cells and bacterial cells are cultured together, is known as co-cultivation. During this period, the bacteria attaches to the plant cells and infects them, penetrating through their cut ends. The process is accelerated by use of acetosyringon in the medium, as acetosyringon is a phenolic natural product which attracts agrobacterium by inducing its Vir-A operon. The explants are then removed from the bacterial suspension culture and excess of bacterial culture is blotted off and then placed onto solid MS medium that contains no selective agent. Incubation. The incubation of the explants with agrobacterium is allowed to continue for 2 days to allow transfer of the tDNA into the plant cells. Selection of the transformed plant cells under appropriate conditions. Selection medium is supplemented with specific herbicide if the marker used in the DNA construct is herbicide resistant gene or depends on selectable marker which is present in the tDNA of the vector. This will prevent the growth of non-transformed plant cells and selection of transformed cells is achieved. The medium also contains cefotaxime to prevent growth of agrobacterium, which is not required now as transfer of tDNA has been established. It also contains growth regulators, auxins and cytokinins in optimum concentration as per the protocol previously standardized for regeneration from the explants. Factors affecting genetic transformation. Now let us study the factors which affect the agrobacterium mediated transformation. Effect of optical density of agrobacterium culture. The agrobacterium culture density affects the efficiency of transformation. The optical density of agrobacterium culture at 560 nanometers represents the most active log phase of agrobacterium growth and thus very effective for transformation. The culture density having OD range between 0.6 to 0.8 is generally used. However, success rates can vary with regard to variation with plant species, explant tissue, duration of co-cultivation and mode of regeneration. Infection time. Infection time from 15 to 30 minutes is generally used for infection with high frequency. The wounding of the tissue before co-cultivation allows better bacterial penetration into the tissues and use of Vir gene inducers like acetosyringon enhance the cell capability for transformation. Co-cultivation time. Co-cultivation duration also affects the transformation efficiency. Generally, 2 to 3 days of co-cultivation time increases the transient transformation frequency. Increasing this duration may result in bacterial overgrowth, which will decrease the transformation frequency. Age of the explants. The age of the explants affect the transformation efficiency. Usually, young healthy explants collected from 2 to 3 day old seedlings are suitable to achieve higher transformation. Still, it all depends on the type of species selected and the age of the explant has to be standardized by research trials prior to transformation. Advantages and limitations of tissue culture. agrobacterium mediated transformation. Agrobacterium mediated transformation has remarkable advantages as it reduces the copy number of the transgene, potentially leading to fewer problems with transgene co-suppression and instability. Also, it allows single cell transformation system, avoiding the formation of mosaic plants. Thus, high quality and fertile transgenic plants can be obtained by this method. But this technique envisages few limitations. Generally, the whole process requires extensive periods of tissue culture, typically requiring many months, space, and most importantly, the tendency to induce soma-clonal variation. Therefore, recently few such methods have been demonstrated where these limitations are overcome by bringing about transformation in intact plants, that is, in planta. This avoids the need for tissue culture steps and overrides the limitations. Transformation in planta. In-planta transformation is an extremely simple method in which plants with young flowers are dipped into the culture of agrobacterium, which also contains a surfactant. The plant is then allowed to set seed by self-fertilization, whereupon a small set of seed produced are transgenic. This method is also called as floral dip method and has been successfully tested on Arabidopsis. Modern agricultural biotechnology is greatly dependent on using agrobacterium to create transgenic plants, and it is difficult to think of an area of plant science research that has not benefited from this technology. Dear students, earlier I have told you about the 3 essential requirements in a gene transfer system for production of transgenic plants. They were availability of competent cells, method to introduce DNA into those competent cells, and a procedure to select and regenerate transformed plants at a satisfactory frequency. We have studied about availability of competent cells and agrobacterium mediated transformation method to introduce the gene of interest. There are vectorless methods also where the DNA is introduced directly by physical or chemical methods. We will study these direct methods of plant transformation, followed by the third essential requirement, that is a procedure to select and regenerate transformed plants, in our next lecture.